What's going on? Nick here from virtualassistantassistant.com. I'm joined by Phillip Koo. He's the co-founder of Zen WP.co. Zen WP is a kind of like a WordPress maintenance service, and it's $79 a month. And I'm sure there's another couple price tiers we'll get into. We're trying to figure out what the service is, what the service does. So, Phillip, thank you so much for joining me, and give us the high-level overview of Zen WP.
Yeah, Nick, thanks for having me. So Zen WP, what we do is we help people manage their WordPress sites. We also help them with minor development issues. So people who are not really who wanted to develop a WordPress site, and then they get into it and think, oh man, this is a lot more than I can handle. And so we kind of help them with the minor things and help guide them through the process.
Yeah, they do a lot for you with the themes, but then there's some under the hood stuff that gets a little bit technical pretty quick.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I mean, WordPress is amazing. I think I remember reading somewhere that 40% of all websites are powered by the WordPress CMS. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I didn't verify the source, but that's a lot. And
so you're going after a big market.
Yeah, absolutely. And WordPress is amazing because it's first of all, it's free to download, and it's very easy to set up, and it's easy to create a website, a basic website with WordPress. But in order to create some of these really nice websites that you see online or that people commonly see online, that really gets them to jump on WordPress in the very beginning, that takes a lot of technical skill. And that's what people really don't realize. And that's where we come in, is that we help them get to that level, and of course fix any issues that they may have with their site as they use it and develop it.
Yeah, so it's so much more than just a blogging platform, and that's what the virtual assistant.com site is built on. I think it's on theme number 3 at this point over the course of 5 years. So it's there's been some evolution over that time, and actually Zen WP has been helping me out with some of the maintenance in the last couple months, and I've been pretty impressed with their service. So, and it's sold as a monthly subscription, right? Instead of one-off tasks.
That's correct. We so for a monthly subscription fee, we provide unlimited developer access and support as well within the scope of WordPress. So it's like having your own developer, but not having to pay several $100s per project, or even up to $1,000.
Now, who came first, WP Curve or you guys?
I'm actually not certain about that. So when we started, we actually had a soft launch. It took us actually about 8 months to get off the ground. WP Curve, they do an amazing job with content marketing and social media marketing as well, I think, and they're able to use that to really funnel a lot of traffic into onto their website and convert people. We had a completely different approach actually when we first started. So it was just me and 2 others, and we saw a problem in the industry. People were having a lot of problem with the WordPress sites, and developers are expensive, very expensive, especially American-based developers, and or the US-based developers. I'm sorry, and so we had this idea, and so what we needed first of all to actually deliver this product that we wanted to sell and advertise, we needed more developers, and we needed customers as well. And so we reached out to a lot of freelance developers, web developers, people that work out of their home and not only develop WordPress websites for insurance agents, or, local politicians, freelance photographers, whatever it may be, small businesses. And they also, offer maintenance services after the development as well. And so they have a small book of business. And so we actually, prospected, and we actually, instead of hunting for customers in the very, very beginning, we were hunting for freelancers. And we said, hey, and we were looking for a particular type of a freelancer. We were looking for somebody that didn't really have a big book of business and that had time to work with us. And so we approached, and they might have had anywhere between 5 to 20 customers that they were whose websites they were maintaining, and we simply reached out to them and said, "Hey, do you want to work with us to some capacity, whether it's 3 hours a day or 8 hours a day, to make some extra money?" And if their answer was yes, we would also ask them about their existing book of business, and we said, can we buy that book of business from you? Can you convert them onto our platform?
Oh, wow. That's an interesting way to go. Okay.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of the bad part about the negative side of that is that there was a lot of upfront costs, of course, because we had to do some financial calculations and pay them the future value of that of a particular customer, right? And so so we did that, and we got a pretty good customer base to start off with, and then instead of at that point switching to something completely different, like Google AdWords or content marketing, even like WP Curve, we actually just I'm a big believer in referrals, and the whole if you get your customers to trust you, more customers will follow.
Yeah.
And so we actually worked our existing book of business, and we offered we did like a campaign where we sent out an email to everybody saying, hey, if you refer somebody to us within the next 2 months, we'll give you 50% off your next month's fee.
Okay.
And it worked really well because business owners know other business owners.
Right.
So it worked really well. And if they're already satisfied with us and they know another person who has a website and they're having the same struggles, why not? And then we got
raise money to fund that initial like client acquisition spree, or was it all bootstrapped?
It was all bootstrapped. It was self-funded. So we had 3 people plus 1 person that was contracted, and so we all put together our money. We all had full-time jobs for several years before then. And so, we had a good amount saved up. We were all very fortunate to be in a good financial situation to be able to do that. I mean, it wasn't like $1 million or even several $100,000 by any means, because then at that point we would have, had to get for funding. So
what would be some example of tasks that people turn to you for as part of their monthly maintenance or as part of their, as part of the service agreement?
So I think a lot of, most of the support requests we get are CSS related, and so these are people that either are having trouble with their websites, trying to get it to a certain level, like have it look a certain way, or they're developing their site and trying to move a sidebar, or have it changed like
I can speak to how frustrating that is.
Yeah, it is. It's very frustrating. But the thing is, if you have somebody that knows CSS, that's a quick fix. It's like 15 minutes, not even sometimes. Yeah. So and so most of our support requests, I would say, are CSS related.
Yeah, I can think of some of the stuff that I've sent over to Lauren, who's my dedicated account manager, and it's like, why is this widget like off-centered and it's kind of dumb stuff, or how come this category isn't showing up differently, and I just want a little bit more spacing on this, like it is, it's just kind of this dumb stuff that I could probably figure out myself, and actually had figured out for years, just Googling and copying and pasting somebody's Stack Exchange code into the back end and like hitting refresh and hoping it didn't like white screen of death on me and be like, well, that one didn't work. Let's back that up. Okay, so have you found any particular industry or like niche of service that your clients tend to come from, or is it all over the map?
It's really all over the map. We have most of our customers are people who work at home, have businesses at home, whether they sell an actual product, whether they have a blog, or they sell like a subscription service of their own. That's not of course technical, and we even have some local politicians as well. That have their website. So it's really a variety of people, but anybody who's really not WordPress proficient.
And so the team is all distributed team. There's no like central office, which I think is pretty cool. And one of the surprising things is, so Lauren, I mentioned, is also in Southern California, whereas for this price, I'm kind of surprised it's not entirely overseas, and even then I think it would be challenging to turn this into a profitable operation. Can you speak a little bit to the size of your team and how tasks are assigned, how that all works?
Yeah, sure. So we have I would say at this point just under 25 people, and anybody who signs up with us is paired with a dedicated account manager / developer, and that person is the only person that you'll ever have to deal with, and that person can be reached at any time of the day or night. And we promise to fulfill or fix a problem or a task that you assign to us within hours. And so,
Well, they got to sleep sometime. Come on, they got to sleep sometime.
yeah, well, I mean, they sleep, but we have other developers that actually are able to step in and make sure that work gets done around the clock. So that's the neat thing. Company is that we have a lot of developers that also work behind the scenes to make sure that we're able to fulfill the guarantee that we give to our customers. And
Okay, so there's a handful of like front end interface, customer interaction people, and then there's kind of in different time zones all around the world, a bunch of people who can do the technical work.
yep, absolutely. And having a huge percentage of our employees in the U.S. That it's a lot more costly for us, of course. So it does eat into our margins. In fact, hiring a U.S.-based developer is anywhere between 5 to 8 times more expensive than hiring somebody in Ukraine, for example. But the reason why we do that, and we make sure that our customers are always constantly in contact with a U.S.-based developer, is because we believe that really they're able to develop a better connection. And we've seen our customer satisfaction rates increase. We see a lot less instances of support tickets getting kicked back to us. So it's a lot more efficient, really. So it helps us save costs there. But I think I remember reading somewhere that it's about 5 to 7 times more costly to gain a new customer than to retain one. I think I remember reading that somewhere. And so I'm a firm believer in investing your time and money into your existing customer base and doing everything you can to keep them happy, and that'll do a lot more for you than looking for ways to cut as much cost as you can and then replace those customers eventually.
Right, where the margins get good for you is when somebody stops sending you tasks for a month, or they they have that membership, or they maintain their membership almost as an insurance policy. Like, hey, if something comes up, I can send these guys a note. But on the other side of that, is it really unlimited? Like, have you ever had to fire a customer for like sending too much stuff, and you're just like, hey, this is beyond the scope. You're taking advantage of us. So this is not going to work.
No, I mean, when we first started, we had this. This is a technicality, but we had the ability. People had the ability to pause their subscriptions, and so there was a lot of room for abuse there. But we quickly got rid of that.
Oh, okay. Be like, well, I don't foresee any problem. Or just hit pause for 2 weeks, and then the next time something comes up, I'll resume.
Yeah, right, exactly. And so that just simply isn't possible anymore. We never, to answer your question, we never had to get rid of a customer or sever ties with them based on the fact that they were just sending too many support tickets or support requests. We have had instances where we had to sever ties with customers, but that was simply because it wasn't a good fit. Sometimes customers would sign up with us and not really knowing the scope of our work or what we offer. And so the moment they sign up with us, they send us a huge list of things that need to be done. And they're, half of them are not WordPress related. They're like hosting issues.
Oh,
and so
okay.
that's when we put on the brakes and say, well, this might not be a good fit for you because we can't do half things here. So.
Okay. Yes, it must be a very narrowly defined within the WordPress realm. Okay.
Yep, that's correct.
What else do people need to know? So I think we covered a good amount of, with the scope of, what you guys do. Any other questions that come up, maybe in like live chat or customer questions before somebody signs up?
Yeah, so typically, I mean, customers, when we have a customer that just finds us online through a Google search or through social media, they typically these customers already have a lot of problems going on with their website, and so typically the type of chats or things that we get, they just simply ask, hey, I'm having this problem. Are you guys able to fulfill this? And if it's WordPress related, we say absolutely, we're able to do it. And if we're not able to do it the first month, then we just refund the money to them. So it really depends on the customer.
Okay. Yeah, I imagine you find people, right at the beginning of their engagement, send a ton of stuff, as I did, and then that that flow probably slows down over. And it's one domain per account, or one website per account, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, yeah, you wouldn't want to go unlimited, and then you have all sorts of problems. Well, Philip, this has been awesome. I think it's a very cool service. I'm excited to continue to use it and test it out, and make those fine tweaks that have been bothering me on the site for months and years in some cases. So it's zenwp.co, and Philip has been kind enough to offer virtual assistant visitors special offer, 10% off your membership. So you can check out the information on how to claim that below this video, either on YouTube or on virtualassistant.com. And that's it for us. So we'll wrap this thing up, and we'll catch up with you soon.
All right, thanks for having me.
You bet.